NOBODIES.
And now the Timo thing. Cheers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. I get some shit at Timo.
Dude. I mean, those pink shoes I saw you with. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I love those pink shoes, man. Now, are those canvas?
Yeah, dude, they're actually pretty shitty. But I've actually bought, so these are Nobles. And I found them because I was shopping a pair of pink Nobles. And I bought a pair and they were too small. So I sent them back and I got the larger pair and then they ran out. So I didn't get them.
Yeah.
So then I can't find fuchsia shoes anywhere, and then I bought those pink ones.
Nice.
But
now those were kind of a Chuck vibe, though, weren't they?
The other ones,
yeah.
Yeah, these ones I have low top, and I have like some high tops too.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? Now you're a cat guy?
Yeah.
Are you not a dog guy?
I do like dogs too. I'll probably get a dog in a year or two. I grew up on a farm, and I had cats.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Bama. What? Where'd you go to school in Bama?
Montgomery.
Oh,
yeah, so you were Birmingham, right?
Yeah, I'm Birmingham.
Yeah.
Montgomery, where?
Yeah, so I went to, it's a Christian school. It's called Faulkner University.
Yeah. No kidding. Wow.
I don't know if I ever asked you, do you know Dreamland Barbecue?
Yes.
I worked there.
Shut up. No way. Hello. They're known for their barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Bro, dude, like, now I miss home even more, dude.
Oh, shit.
Like, dude, dude. I mean, you could once you roll downtown, you could just smell the barbecue.
Mm-hmm. How often do you get back?
I hadn't been to Birmingham in almost 11 years.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, my guy.
Damn.
Yeah, I miss home bad.
Yeah.
Because I got in that relationship in Birmingham. We moved to Florida, and then I was in Florida. I had one more wedding to do in Bama, and then once I shot that wedding in Bama, I mean, I went back. We broke up. I stayed down there. Lived on the beach on 30A, which have you heard of 30A?
Uh-uh.
So Panama City Beach, and then so you got it. It's a little strip of road. It's called 30A. Okay. So the Truman Show.
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
They filmed the Truman Show in Seaside, which was right in my neighborhood. Right there. Yeah. So that was really cool.
Dude, Truman Show was one of my favorite movies for a long time.
Man, it was awesome. But beach living was, again, being from Birmingham, beach living was always my goal. I wanted to live at the beach. Love the beach. But you quickly realize that beach living and tourist living there's no year round. There's no year round vibe, like during season. So the town, Blue Mountain Beach, where I lived, year round, only 15,000 people live there.
Oh, wow.
But in the summer months, 4 million people came through Destin and 30A.
Jesus.
So, dude, I mean, it would for you to go from here to here, be 1 mile, take you 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's wild.
And now it's even worse. I've even seen on social media, it's been worse since I left in 2018. But living the beach life was awesome. Got to run on the beach every day.
Yeah. Do you run in the sand?
Huh?
Did you run in the sand? Yeah, dude, it's so much harder.
So much better. Barefoot. Oh my God, dude. It was so therapeutic. It was so therapeutic. But, at the end of the day, dude, it's crazy because, I mean, I took those times again. It's crazy how breakups make you grow a lot faster than normal. You know what I'm saying? And that particular breakup allowed me to, and then being by myself, not being at home, not having to, because we started dating in Birmingham and then we moved to Florida and then we broke up. But the thing is like, I stayed in Florida because I didn't want to go back to Birmingham and just have to relive the breakup. Like, this, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to relive that. But I just wanted to stay in Florida too. But little did I know that it was just, I was going to have to work 4 jobs to freaking even live there.
God.
Dude, I was freaking doing security at a gentleman's club in Panama City. I was cutting grass. I mean, I was doing everything except for, and I was taking pictures every now and again. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, I got to get out of here.
Yeah. You never started do photos for the strippers?
No.
Dude, you would think. So I started doing that. Like, that's how I started taking photos, was taking photos of strippers I knew. And it was fun. I like strippers. I like cute girls. We're having a good time. We're always getting drunk.
Right.
But once I started hitting a point where I'm like making money from photography and then working on stuff, and then I worked for the Torch for a little bit, bartending.
Okay.
But I was like, dude, I'm going to meet a bunch of girls that need photos. I'll get some side gigs pretty quick. But like, dude, they never want to spend money on photos. It's like,
exactly.
Ever.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You think it's going to be a cash cow and it ain't shit.
And dude, they're pulling in like $800 $1,000 a night, and they still don't have money
because they gotta take care of the fucking 5 kids.
Yeah.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Dude, wow.
But no, it's facts. But the thing, yeah, dude. I mean, again, it was cool because it was the only job down there that I can make $300, $400 a night.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. Whatever. But again, yeah, I mean, it was. But also, at the end of the day, too, man, it was just it was for me, after the fact, it was a time for me to be tested because again. Things are offered 1,000%.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, but again, it's just like, no.
You can lose yourself.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, but no. No, I'm good. But, but the thing is just like, sometimes, I feel like those tests in life are there for a reason to see how much you've grown. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, so that was a time, I was there for the paper and I was out, right. But anyway, so then I got a job at the gym in Panama City, and then one of the owners was like, "Yo, dude," he's like, "I'm about to move to Boise. We're about to come up here and just blow it up." I was like, "Word?" I was like,
"That's good."
Well, I have 25 years experience in building, in working in the fitness industry.
Right.
He's like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "I'll let you know when we're ready." I was like, "Cool." A year later, yeah, man, you ready?
Yeah.
This is it. That's it. I was like. Yes, please let me know. Because again, as much as I loved living in Florida, I just wasn't growing as a person. I wasn't I wasn't doing. I was enjoying the beach life.
Yeah.
But I just hated. I just didn't like working jobs where dude, I was working for jobs where I was renting paddle boards to all these highfalutin,
right.
Looking at me like I'm a freaking employee. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, don't look at me like that, and don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm like, I was like, I got to piece out on this because again, I know where I want to go. But again, it's just, and I wasn't creative there. Because again, it's just like, oh. Here, I'll do your wedding, because again, beach weddings are very just cut and dry,
right?
Bam, 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 let's go to the reception,
Sure.
And it was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was great, but it was just like, that's not my passion. I didn't want to be the beach photographer of Destin, Florida or anything like that.
Right.
So I was just like, all right, I got to do something. And then when he said, hey, he's about to move to Boise to open up some gyms, I was like, word, let me know. So they called me a year later. He's like, you ready? I was like, I'm ready. So I moved up here December 2018, and then boom. We started pre-sale. Little did I know that Boise, Idaho is full of fitness.
Yeah.
Holy cow. There's so much
already
fitness.
saturated.
Oh my God, dude. I mean, the thing is, this is the thing about the South, man. I love, I miss it so much. But, being in the fitness industry for so long and working for franchises, working for independent owners, please edit out that burp.
dude, I burp all the time.
I'm like, bro, that Red Bull got me, man.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, it's just like one of those things to where it's like, fuck, hang on. Where was I going with this shit?
Fitness in the South, Birmingham.
Yeah, the South. So, again, being in the fitness industry and actually pre-internet days, I mean, we were open up.
Yeah.
But even after that, it was just like, we're first time visitor incentive. Hey, sign up now. You only pay this. I feel like we were just a little bit more gullible, a little bit more,
right.
Yeah. Here, people are like, I'm already a member of a gym of 2 or 3. Like, we'll just wait till you open type thing.
Yeah,
there was no sense of urgency. And people didn't care that they were going to save $5 a month.
Right.
And so, it was just one of those things. The momentum just didn't really, boom, really go the way that we thought it was going to go.
Sure.
And then the year anniversary was, we had to shut down for COVID. Then we shut down for COVID for 52 days.
Yeah.
Then after that, the fitness industry had a big target on its back.
Right.
Like, hey, seniors, don't go here, don't go there. Then guess what? All of our Silver Sneakers members freaking dropped. They ain't coming back because they thought they were going to get COVID and die. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so then the ownership was just like, yo, you know what? We're not going to move forward with opening up any more locations.
Right.
So it was just like,
what gym was it?
Workout Anytime in Garden City.
Okay.
They're still there. They're still there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a franchise out of Atlanta, Georgia.
So he was building the franchise.
Yeah. So he was so the guy that I met down there, he was actually a franchise in Florida. He was like a territory manager or a territory he would sell territories.
Sure.
So his job in Florida was just like, hey, look, so franchisees that wanted to buy a territory in any place in Florida, the franchise would be like, hey, you need to talk to our guy. He'll be able to help you with, negotiating lease X, Y, and Z. And,
sure.
and that's what their job was. And so he thought they had such great success in Florida. They sold like 15 in like 13 months.
Yeah.
They were killing it down in Florida, and again, I blame, they thought they were just going to basically he thought he was going to be able to mirror the success in Florida here. And little did he know that it was just,
Isn't it crazy how like the area makes such a difference?
The mindset, 1000%. I used to work, when I worked for a franchise called Snap Fitness, I had to move to Minneapolis, Minnesota. The mindset in Minneapolis is different because your seasons are different.
Yeah.
Bro, in the South, it's hot and kind of hot. You
know
what I'm saying? Right. Like, bro, when you go to Minnesota, you go here, when you experience all 4 seasons, you put memberships on hold. You put memberships on pause because I want to go I want to go to the foothills.
Yeah.
I want to go to Sawtooth here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But down south, it's just like, dude, I want to go around the beach. I want to go do this. Whatever else. So it was just a different mindset. 1000%.
There's a restaurant that was out by. So I work at Rudy's, a bartender out there. There's a restaurant called I'm gonna forget it, but it was out on Chinden and Linder. And they were thriving for like 10 years. And Rudy's and them were the only bars and restaurants in the area.
Yeah.
And somebody from California came in and bought it. And it was doing so good. And I'm like, dude, you could have just bought it and left it and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
But they changed everything. They're like, oh, no, we're going to mirror what we were doing over in California. And dude, tanked it. Like 6 months completely closed. Everybody hated it.
It's wild, man. Because, again, I started the fitness industry in 1996, right out of high school. Because, 1996 is when I finished high school. So my mom, we moved to Mobile, Alabama. And so that's where I started the fitness industry. It was in Powerhouse Gym in Mobile, Alabama, 1996. And see, back then, pre-internet, pre-internet days. Dude, people call, hey, I want to come look at your gym. Okay, what time is it good for you? This is when you could really be, what time today, tomorrow is good for you?
Right.
All that fucking fun sales shit. When we were selling 24-month contracts, selling $1,200 memberships and shit, getting $300 down, dude. Like, we were used car salesmen.
Yeah.
I had managers saying, hey, if they have a gold bracelet on, they do not leave without a membership.
Right,
like, oh my God, like, chill out. But again, you had to put the full court press on these people because again, especially then, it's just like, oh, I need to go talk to my husband. I need to do this, dude. We were freaking trained on how to overcome every 8 objectives. Price, spouse.
You have an answer for everything.
Procrastination, all that. All that, dude. Oh God, I miss those days. But again, now it's just like every gym you go to, it's $1 enrollment plus first month. It's like whatever. You know what I'm saying? But again, the health club industry has such a special spot in my heart just because it allowed me to go in so many different places. I've lived in 10 different states, in the country and different. But on the flip side, so has photography. Photography has taken me abroad to the British Virgin Islands, and it's cool. I got hired to be a photographer for it's called the Yacht Week. Have you ever heard of it? So the Yacht Week, that's really cool. So how they do that is, so they really identified their niche. And so they were like, okay, so there's an age bracket between 21 to 31 that don't want to go on the cruise boats with their parents and be like, okay, yeah, let's go do X, Y, So what the Yacht Week does is they rent out catamaran boats to 8 to 12 people at a time. And then what they'll do is they'll sail for a little bit and party. They'll sail a little bit and party.
Do they all tie up?
Yeah, they all tie up. And so a buddy of mine that I took photos of at a nightclub in Birmingham, he's like, yo, dude, I'm an ambassador for Yacht Week or whatever. He's like, we need a photographer. You down? I was like, tell him to hit me up. And again, I don't know what I don't know. I was like, yeah, dude, whatever. He's like, hey, dude, we got you. I mean, it's like a $4,000 trip or whatever. And so they're like, just get you a passport. This is back when I could get a passport expedited the same day. And so I went to Atlanta, got me a passport, and I was like, yo, I'm in. And so I flew to British Virgin Islands, and I just freaking hopped around, dude.
That's so cool.
Bro. Oh, man, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. But, to be able to just hop around and just party from boat to boat, dude, it was a vibe, dude. It was a vibe. So it's crazy how, again, like I was saying earlier, it's just like, it's crazy how our story is meant for a reason. It's meant to be told somewhere, somehow.
And you wouldn't be like all of the challenges and all that,
all of the failures.
If everything worked out the way you wanted it the whole way, you would never be able to tell the story.
Dude, because again, our mindset is so we think we can think big, but really we don't think it. The universe is way bigger than what we can even think.
Oh yeah,
or whatever else. I don't know how to say that, but it's just like we think we can think big, but really at the end of the day, the universe has way bigger plans. God has way bigger plans, or whatever else. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. It's just like we think we can just think so big, so creatively, so high, and really at the end of the day, it's our history and our plan might be way bigger than we could ever think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you sell yourself short, or you feel like you're like what you were talking about, creative and / like ADD brain, and you're like, your shit's not good enough.
No.
And so it's like, oh, you like, I'm not good enough to do it, so I don't post it, or I don't do the thing. And it's just like, dude, you're selling yourself short by
1,000%. We're selling ourselves.
Do another?
Yeah. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's take a break.
So yeah, dude, it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, I need to do the reps. Because again, it's just so weird. I realize and I know that my Southern accent is 100% what I need to embrace, but it's the one thing.
That's part of your charm.
That's one of the things that I hate so much. Not hate, but it's just like, it's just weird because again, you don't realize watching yourself.
Yeah.
Talk. And that's when some of these guys that I watch. He's like. We're not used to watching ourselves, as talking or whatever else. Right. It's like, because, one thing is looking in the mirror and you're like, you know what angles you want, you're like, oh yeah. But to watch and to freaking, you know what I'm saying? For a long period, for even an extended period of time, you're like, yo, I need to calm things down or whatever.
Dude, that's the thing. Well, there's a few hurdles that I had going. I mean, there's still more, but like I didn't start for the longest time because perfectionism. And I was like, I wish I would have just started with a camera a phone.
Yeah.
I wish I would have just turned my phone on and fucking record and put them out. I would have got better and I would have had way more reps. But instead, wait. And then when I started, some of the times I would get drunk and I would be like, dude, the way you said that, or like, you sound like a dummy. Right. And then I'm like, dude, I don't know if maybe I'll clip that section out. I had to force myself, like, don't clip it, just put it. Yes. And the thing is like, when you're starting, it's like, there's hardly any people watching anyway. Even now, like, I'm like, I might have 100 people watch this, like the whole thing. Well, my clips go out, of course, a little more, but so it's like, eventually it's going to get bigger, but who cares? And then you also have to think like, dude, who gives a fuck? Everybody's worried about what they're looking like over there to pay attention.
Nobody's thinking about you. They're thinking about them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But also, yes, I know. But yes, that's what I mean. Even what you just said is validated. They're like, your first 30 to 40, 50 videos, nobody's even watching. But there's going to be that one that freaking just skyrockets and freaking, you don't know when it's going to happen. It could be freaking, you don't know. But don't overthink it, because again, you just never know who it's going to resonate with.
Exactly.
There
was, do you like Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
He's like so insightful, and like a guy who, in some ways I feel like he's lucky, because not because he's lucky on the internet, but he found his passion at 12, and he never wanted to do anything else. And so like by the time he's 25, he did 15, years.
Again, when we were 11, we didn't have friggin' YouTube.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When we were 11, we had fucking maybe Nintendo.
But you still have like you have a right time, right time period, but you also still have work ethic out the wazoo. So you have both of those things combining, and learning and growing. Yeah. But he talks about like he's like, when people are asking me, oh, what should I do? He's just like, make 100 videos and then come ask me what to do.
Because again, you don't know what you don't know. He's going to make sure that you know exactly, because 100 videos, you learn a lot. But I mean, even I watched, his first video was him playing video games. And then he's had brands come to him. I watched one just recently. He's like, hey, his budget was $5,000. He's like, you know what? Double it. Give me $10,000. I'll go give it to somebody on the streets. And I guarantee that you'll get more. He's like, because $10,000 sounds better than $5,000.
And he gave it all away.
Exactly. And the thing is, that dude's business is fucking skyrocketing right now. Because again, it's dramatics. But again, would that work now? Because now that we've seen it so many times, I don't know if it'd work as strong as it did.
Sure.
And
that's why you still have to like find your, like you learn and you grow, and then you find how to tweak your thing or where to go next,
Well, and again, you got to identify, do you want to educate? Do you want to inspire, or do you want to entertain? Those are the three key points. And so which ones do you want to do? Entertain, educate, or inspire? And so I'm like, oh, word. Okay. So now I need to check now, because again, dude, when you first start out with the camera in your hand, you're not looking to freaking entertain. You're not looking to freaking inspire. You're trying to get inspired. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, like, I mean, again, people that are starting out in their first 5 years, bro, just take it in, shoot the fuck out of everything, and just figure out which one gives you that pit in your stomach. You're like, oh my God, bro. I mean, I remember when I first started, I would literally get emotional when I'm editing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, because again, it's just like I heard a long time ago. It's like, I think Andy Warhol said, he's like, my best photo that I took is tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Good. That's a bar, guy. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you want to elevate every day. But I'm not sure. Please don't quote me that. I'm pretty sure that he said that. But if not, it was one of those artists back in the 60s. I mean, back in the 70s. But I watched a lot of Andy Warhol documentaries, and man, because again, he's such a presence in any kind of pop art or anything like that. Because I identify with pop art, one of the reasons that pop art is such, and that's one of the reasons that I did this here, because I love pop art. I love the boldness. I love the vibrance. I love this.
That's cool. Again, I resonate with pop over most stuff.
Well, Andy Warhol was the guy. He was the one that was like, hey, this is what's cool. This is pop art for real. Yeah. And then I started Googling pop art, and I'm like, okay, a word. I like, okay, yes. But now I want my voice to be pop art, but in the 80s and 90s, you know what I'm saying? 70s, because when he was. But the thing is, dude, he was a photographer. He was an artist. Dude, he was doing the layering he was doing is the stuff that we do in Photoshop. Right. He was doing real-time Photoshop where you had to freaking lay out the canvas, spread the ink, and layer. Now we just do it with a couple of clicks of a mouse on a software, which is cool and all. Yeah. But you gotta understand that before. I mean, look, if you watch some of these documentaries, I mean, Steve Jobs presented him the first Apple, and he was like, I mean, even Andy Warhol was amazed by what Steve Jobs was presenting him. He was like, oh my God. I mean, he was like, I can't believe I can do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like to wow an artist like Andy Warhol, and Steve Jobs was like, hey, look at this piece of technology that you can do everything with a click of a mouse. And Andy Warhol was like, yo. I was like, what? But watching some of those documentaries, I'm like, man, this guy was a creative in so many different ways, not just a photographer. And dude, he was a nightlife photographer in his in his 50s. Yeah. Club, what was it? Was it the 54 Club 54 or whatever, or not? I don't know. That big club in New York. I mean, he was killing it. He was killing it. And again, man.
Yeah, that's interesting to see. I remember when I started photos, and somebody was like, oh, are you learning on Lightroom? And I was like, yeah. Like, when I started, I had to learn everything editing on Photoshop, so much harder. And so, but that happens with every generation. It's like, of course, it's gonna, but just because the the tools make it easier. That doesn't mean the whole process is easier
1000%.
because the tools just made it more accessible. For more people. Right. So now there's more competition,
right.
you know?
Bro, there is Photoshop ads on freaking YouTube right now.
Oh yeah.
Every 16-year-old can do Photoshop right now.
Yeah. So,
I mean, for you to say you use Photoshop, cool. Right. Thank you for letting me know that you're just like every 16-year-old out
exactly.
there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I need to know that you have a creative vision and not that you know how to use Photoshop.
Dude, and the tough thing is, speaking of, we were talking about the being over 40 and a creator. Yeah. It's like, that it's a hard thing to do because when you realize that you're competing with a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old that are really good because they've been doing it since they're 12.
In other countries.
And you're like, fuck, dude, like maybe I am too old for this. Maybe I, like you get those doubts, or at least I have.
1000%, bro. They are teaching YouTube how to be a content creator for YouTube in friggin' high school now, or in some schools, not high school, but in some schools, or whatever. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, bro, like. Give me a break, guy. But again, nobody wants to hear from a fucking 17-year-old on how to do something. So they want to hear from an OG.
The story.
Yeah, they want to hear from an OG. But again, the thing is though, sometimes it might take us a little bit longer to learn. But again, once we learn it, it's, you know what I'm saying? But and maybe not, but I mean, just really depending on, on your mindset, because sometimes, your mindset is everything. Sometimes you're like, oh, I'll learn that tomorrow. But if you have that tunnel vision to learn it, then you'll learn it within a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? So
and I like I forget who. Well, there's probably a lot of people that say it, but it's just like the people who win are the people who don't give up. And it's like, it might take me longer. But like if I keep after it, like the other people who, when it got hot, this is a thing I have to remind myself all the time, because like when it's so frustrating, like I film a podcast, I get it in there and fuck, my audio didn't work, and then like something's off. I'm like, motherfucker, like I try to upload it on YouTube, failed. Try to upload, failed, and I'm just like, God damn it, like the frustration. And so like I feel the quit. Like I'm like, dude, fuck this shit. I want to quit. And there are a lot of people that reach those same things and they do quit. So when I don't quit, now I just made one step ahead.
Little failures are little lessons. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, though, that's the thing, is just that, the universe, God, or however you want to say it, He knows how we learn the best, bro. I got a DUI a year plus ago. Okay,
that's right.
A year ago. Okay. Within this year plus couple of months, I've grown more as a man, as a creative, and I'm 47, bro. I thought I knew everything. You know what I'm saying? As a creative and everything. I thought I was like, I know I was running towards my goal. Yeah, fuck that. I was running towards the wrong goal. You know what I'm saying? Now I know, but again, I just know that me, as ADD as I am, and how sidetracked I get, the only way that I was ever going to learn was me getting a DUI and me being freaking just stuck. I mean, I don't want to pay for an Uber to go anywhere. Right. I don't want, and if I can't ride my bike and if I can't walk it, then I don't, I probably don't need it. Yeah. I mean, in the last year, I've lost 55 pounds. That I didn't even know that I had to lose. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hell yeah, good for damn, bro. I was like, sure, okay. But at the end of the day, though, I've learned and I've grown so much in my craft, and I've really focused on what do I want? What do I want my voice to be? But two, what do I want my brand to be? You know what I'm saying? But also, where do I want to go from here and on out? And that's where my YouTube is going to come into, and that's where my custom shoes, my photos, I'm going to merge it all together to where I'm going to become the experience. Yeah. And I'm going to, make sure that people that hire me leave with, yo, we just fucking had a blast. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Not that, hey, snap. Okay, I'll send you a Google link and with all your photos. No. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. Right. You know what I'm saying? But again, because, dude, I mean, I remember when I first started, I used to meet with film wedding photographers where they actually got to film. They used to photograph the event, the whole wedding. Then they would meet the bride a couple of weeks later after everything's developed and it's in a photo book. And they're like, hey, this is here. And then they actually got to visibly see the bride cry.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, bro, I'm like, I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
I've never experienced, why? Because we live in a digital world.
Right.
I started in a digital world. I've never shot film.
Right. Me neither.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's cool because we get a quick turnaround, but at the end of the day, you know, now, I mean, film photography is probably, it's a lost art, unfortunately. But, you know, it's just one of those things where they got to be the experience every time because it was their creative vision that captured every freaking, because again, when you got film, you only have 28 to 36, 28 to 32 exposed or something like that. I mean, so you're constantly changing.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're not just.
It was an expense to freaking be a wedding photographer back in the day. But, you know, now we get to freaking spray and pray, you know, I'm spraying, but and, you know what I'm saying? We're spoiled ass rotten for digital photographers. But at the end of the day, I was like, man, that's wild that you got to experience a photo book of the bride getting to open up and seeing these photos for the first time. And she's crying. I'm like, whoa, that's heavy. Yeah. That's heavy because, again, I'm like, I've never experienced that. And I've probably photographed in the 16 years, I've probably photographed over 70 weddings.
Damn.
And, you know, the thing is I had fun times. Brides have hired me for one particular reason for another. Maybe it might be for my work. Maybe it's because I get to engage with the fiance that's a stick in the mud and he don't know how to laugh. And so I get to make him laugh or, you know, whatever else, you know, so, but it's just like, man, that's what we need now is we need that connection between client and photographer or creative. It's like, hey, this is how I pictured your special day. And it's like, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, and to send a photo book or now I know that there's people that have identified their niche and there's wedding photographers that really probably roll out the red carpet to their guests. And I understand that and good for them. And that's awesome, you know, but again, you know, when you're first starting out, you know, as a creative and as a photographer, you shoot everything.
Right.
Because you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You just say yes to $100, yes to $500, yes to $300, yes. Yeah. But not knowing that you're freaking devaluing, you know, the people that have really identified their niche, that have really identified that, hey, this is what it takes to really freaking photograph a wedding the right way. Right. And we're like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
I'll do it for free.
I'll do it for $200. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. You know, and again, I didn't know that I was a slap in the face to the true OGs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
But it's just like how you have to come up.
Right.
And I mean, like the real OGs and the ones that have really spent the time in the craft, I feel like the ones that get frustrated about the new guys coming in, like they need to move. They shouldn't be going after people that are going to spend $200 on a wedding anyway, right? Like you gotta like
real talk.
You gotta like if you're an OG and you've been doing it 10 years and whatever, hopefully you're going for clients that aren't going to want that new guy. Like
1,000%. That's a bar right there too, because again, they're not chasing the same client.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're chasing the $5,000 client and we're using the $200 client for experience.
Right. Yeah.
1,000%. But again, we don't know that going into it. We are like, oh, $250. Yeah. You know, again, yeah. You know, I'll give you 1,000 photos. I met a guy at a job one day, a couple of years ago. He's like, oh, I'm a photographer too. I was like, oh, really? I was like, cool. I was like, how many photos do you turn over? Oh, 150. I'm like, yeah, you're not a real photographer, bro. I was like, you don't, I mean, well, and again, I hate to even say that, but again, it's just like, again, because my mindset's different, your mindset's different, his mindset's different. Right. He's just like, you know, hey, here's all the photos. There's no creative process here. Yeah. Me, you, we're just looking at every photo. We're making sure the light, you know, we want to make, you know, I'm going to turn over maybe 25 edited photos. Yeah. You're going to turn over 150. Right. We have a different mindset.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We have a different mindset on our craft, on our art, everything like that. But the thing is though, the customer, when they go on our Instagram, they go on our website, they don't see our vision. They just see what they get. Right. And the thing is, that's the hard part is because I wish we could freaking tell the customer, hey, this is how they see a price tag, no matter what. Yeah. No, you know, and even in portraits, you know, it's just like, hey, I'll do portraits. I'm a natural light photographer. Well, I'm a strobist photographer. So strobist photography, not every photo of, I'm not going to spray and pray 1,000 photos and give you 150.
Yeah.
I'm going to freaking make sure that, you know.
Yeah, we're designing this
right. But the thing is, in the customer's mind, in their mindset, it takes the same amount of effort. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
That's why. So speaking of what we were talking about outside, the topic I liked was with that. Oh, so building your brand, and like, so you want to provide an experience. And the only way that somebody's going to know that they're going to experience with you is either like the word of mouth from somebody else who's like, dude, it's way better than your average photography or whatever like thing. Yep. Or like you build a brand where you're showcasing how you do like the things, and people discover you from your presence where you show. You're not just everybody else who just shoots a bunch. I curate this, and you show behind the scenes, and that's where all that shit like starts to really like win for you over time, I guess.
I mean, it does. No, 1,000% it does. But sometimes, I mean, the customer, they don't appreciate those things. They only care about the finished product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is they think a natural light photographer and a strobist photographer are the same caliber, and we're not. You know what I'm saying? They think that this costs the same as, you know, the thing is, they think it costs the same. You know, hey, just go run in the field and I'll just, compared to, all right, hey, stay there. Let me move my light here. Let me move my light here. All right, cool. You know, so there's just a different mindset. And again, the customer doesn't know that. But also, that's why it's so important to build your brand on social media. Make sure that, hey, this is what you're investing in. You're not investing in a natural light photographer that just bought a 1.8 lens that every fucking photo they take is fucking butter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Compared to a guy that's going to freaking use 2 or 3 flashes, and there's just a whole different mindset and a game plan. You know what I'm saying? And and again, it's funny. It's not funny, but it's just like I've caught myself not getting mad, but it's just like, don't they know that I'm different? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and the thing is, they don't know.
It's so,
you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
so
bro,
frustrating.
I'm bringing flashes. I'm doing this. You don't understand. I'm not going to do that overexposed sunblack, or, again, that's cool. I get it. I can do it. But you didn't hire me to do everything what everybody else is doing.
Right.
And again, it's bit me in the ass sometimes. Because again, I didn't go over this. I didn't go over that. And that's one of the, that's, systems are everything.
Right. So then you need to prep them for what you are delivering.
Right. Yeah. And that's why, social media is so important. Being transparent on social media is important. That way people know what they're investing in. Because again, if you say you're a photographer, taking photos and posting on Instagram, that's not a vibe anymore.
Right.
You're just like every freaking newbie. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in it, and you're creative and you're going to do what you say you're going to do, you need to level up. Every post needs to be a little bit, not every post, but you need to freaking show that one, I can bring the experience. Two, that my outcome is going to be different and whatever else.
Right.
You can't just say, hey, I'm different and I'm awesome, but do the same thing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I feel like props to you, but you have such a high energy. Like, so every time I've run into you out, like, people, you're always a vibe. You're bringing a lot of excitement, which then is mirrored by people who are getting their photo taken. And so like, not everybody does that. Like I've met some photographers that are like super quiet, and I've shot with, or like they're directing, right? And they're taking photos, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? And they're silent. They're shooting. I'm like, hey man, what am I supposed to be doing here? You know, and like, they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to bring the energy. They're just taking photos. And so if you're doing that, you're like, they're not providing the experience that you are, so.
No, and I appreciate that. But also the thing is though, there's a lot of people doing event photography that don't need to be doing event photography, because event photography, you have to bring the vibe. When I started in 2011, it was the DJ and me. It was our responsibility to bring the vibe.
Yeah.
The DJ brings the music, and I'm like, it's high energy. We were equally responsible to bring the vibe.
Yeah.
And so it takes a special mindset and a special personality, because I know a lot of bros that are good they're great photographers, but they get anxiety around people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, just pass them to me. I'm that guy, you know, because again, I wanted to be in theater. You know what I'm saying? I'm that theater guy. I wanted to be center of attention. I want to be that guy. Yeah. But again, there's a lot of photographers, they love to hide behind the camera. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they know settings, they know lighting, they know this, that. But again,
nobody cares about all that shit.
Guess what? Your niche is not event photography. Right. Go do something else. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you know, but again, you don't know what you don't know. Right. And I say the first 5 years of being a creative and especially a photographer or videographer creative, you need to do everything for the first 5 years to really figure out what freaking gives you that burn inside. Yeah. Where your gut is telling you, this is my vibe.
Dude, I'm really happy you said that, because I think you're completely right. And what's wild is I am just at about, like, I picked up the camera in 2020. Mm-hmm. So I'm literally this month 5 years from the first time I took photos, which was February. Yeah. And I remember my first year in, people, like business owners, being like, find your niche. Yeah. But I was like, I don't know. And I never was told, no, it's going to take a while to find your niche. Try it all for a while, and don't get discouraged along the way. Cause I would get so discouraged. Like, fuck, dude, I thought that thing might be cool and now it's not. Or fuck, I'm not doing well here. I don't know marketing, but like, dude, I'm only 5 years.
You're right,
if you think about like a career,
nothing, not 5 years is nothing.
And then for me, what I've discovered is like my favorite thing is doing this. Yes. So like I do like taking photos. Yes. But if I do that too much for other people, it burns me out. Or videos, I'll do too much for other people, it burns me out. Right. This is like feeding my soul. I'm like, oh, so this needs to be your focus, and then do some other shit, learn and grow. But yeah,
especially now, because again, you know, being a photographer, you know, doing a photo shoot and posting, I mean, that's whatever, dude. Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's doing that. Yeah. Everybody that started yesterday is doing that. Yeah. You know, I mean, to be a true content creator and say you're a content creator, you got to be able to do a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sorry. Not a little bit of everything, but you really got to be able to tap into what your niche is, but also I mean, like you said it, you know, your first 5 years, you're a jack of all trades. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what your Google searches are supposed to be. But now, again, I can't believe it's only been 5 years that you've been doing this. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. But if you can really tap into this is where it's at. Yeah.
Well, and I feel like I'm glad that you are leaning into like putting yourself out there, because I feel like long term, especially with the development of like technology, how many people have access to really good, even the iPhone, you know, it's just like, oh, well, I don't really want to spend $500 on a family photo shoot because we'll just get Mark to use our iPhone and get some good, and they look good. They're not like fucking going to some magazine, but it's good for a family who doesn't have a lot of money. Yeah, let's just use our iPhone, right? And then with AI coming in, and so like I'm just like, but none of that can replace me as a person, my personality, my history, my experience. And so that's why I like leaning in, like, or that's why I'm trying to build that. It's just like, I have something to offer that nobody else has. And insight and information and feelings and emotion and story that nobody else has, because it's me.
Exactly.
And so, just leaning into that, growing that. And then, yes, you still need to learn technicals.
No, 1,000%. But just leaning into your craft, leaning into what that pit in your stomach, you know, that pit in your stomach is your little pastor. That's your little that's your little gut. Your gut feeling is never wrong. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Your gut feeling is never wrong, guys.
It is wild.
You know, it's never wrong, man. And that's the thing about you know, especially creatives, because again, it's just like we're so back and forth. We're like a windshield wiper.
Squirrel.
Dude, it's just like, but the thing is, that's a gift more than it is a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? And it's validated to me on a daily basis. It's like, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Because again, but you got to understand, when I was in elementary school, I was the first kid in elementary school that was prescribed a Ritalin. I was the guy, dude, when, in the early 90s. I mean, dude, when I was prescribed Ritalin, you know, because my mom worked at the hospital, I had to go through like 4 months of testing, everything like that. And they're like, okay, you have this thing called ADD. I'm like, me and mom, we were like, what?
You're like, I'm not good at math.
Yeah. So there's this thing called Ritalin, and we're going to put you on that. And we're like, okay. So in the early 90s, I was prescribed Ritalin. And so what's crazy is that I had to take one in the morning, and then I had to take my prescription to the office. And then after lunch every day, I had to go to the office and get my second Ritalin. So the office was responsible for my Ritalin, which is crazy. They set it in their desk.
Yeah.
Can you believe that shit?
That's wild.
I mean, now the office would be taking all my Ritalin.
Right. Selling it on the streets.
Yeah, them motherfuckers would be snorting that shit. No, I'm good. But it's just like, but it's crazy that it's just like, wow. I mean, but again, and I can think back to even 5th and 6th grade, like, you know, even if I forgot to go to the office at lunch, you know, I have someone like, hey, Curtis, remember you got to go to the office to get your Ritalin. You know, like they make fun of me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, but then when I got to high school, then they were putting me in classes with Down syndrome kids. Because I had a learning disability, because I was ADD. Dude, I mean, 9th through 12th grade, one of my classes was with LD. And guess what? It was me plus a bunch of Down syndrome kids.
Yeah.
You know, that don't, no hate. I love it.
Yeah. Now they're learning that Down syndrome kids can have telepathy.
1,000. Hey,
like, holy fuck.
Bro, I wish I was in there more. I could probably learn more.
They're speaking to each other behind our backs, making fun of us, like, just with their minds.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, but it's just wild. It's just wild to think back through some of my high school years. I'm like, dude, I mean, they treated me like I was freaking just, I was a lost cause.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All because, again, my teachers were in their 60s and 70s in the early 90s. I didn't have 25-year-old or 21-year-old hot freaking, you know, dime pieces as my freaking, you know, my history teacher like they do now. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's
you know what I'm saying? But again, the teachers that took that little extra time, I was making B's and C's.
Yeah.
But the ones that freaking didn't give me any time at all, I was a C and D student. And again, they didn't know what they didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know, you know, again, apparently we didn't know, you know, we didn't have internet.
Yeah. But now, you know, like some of the people that are the biggest inspirations to me were terrible in school. You know, it's just like, those things aren't for.
It's just designed to be, they just teach you how to be an employee.
Yeah. Just a cog.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z and you're going to be successful.
Right.
Fuck you. Bullshit. That's bullshit. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's wrong. And that's what's so unfortunate, because, you know, my generation, they just taught you, do this, go to college, you're going to be successful.
Right.
And we know.
Yeah.
Some of my bros are freaking valedictorians, and guess what? They ain't shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I take that back. It's not that they ain't shit, but you know, it's not. They're not millionaires.
Yeah.
They're not 6-figure income guys.
Right.
They're just average Joes. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they were book smart. They're not.
Yeah, bro. I was a valedictorian. I live in my garage. I've learned way more in the last 5 years than I had in my entire life. And it's like, because it's just so different experience. Like the information that is like, was gate kept before, that now we have access to, you know, like, I mean, I've learned from people who are happy to share and want other people to be successful.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the thing. It's just like, you know, with some of these classes that I take, it's just like, you know, they say, hey, you've got to share your gift. I mean, you have to be the experience. You have to share your gift. You have to, you know, but also know that you are the gift that you're sharing, and just know that what you're doing, and as you share your gift, you're doing a good thing. It's just not you're not reaping the benefit now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not that even that you want to reap a benefit, you know, and maybe you just want to share just to share, and that's good too. But you know, it's just, as creatives, you know, we're always just looking for our way up. You know what I'm saying? Because we just want to level up. We just want to share our gift. We want to share our artistic vision. Yeah. You know, and sometimes that's just not valued the way we want it to be.
I feel like it's always a constant battle. Because I mean, if you think about some of the most successful artists, that maybe they are already like honored by everybody, and then they're like, you know what, I want to do this new project, and it's going to be different. And then they release it, and everybody shits on them because they're like, wow, he really went off the deep end. And so like, they still deal with all these other like struggles of like, now they have eyeballs on them. Now everybody's hating, or like, oh, well, he didn't do what he used to do, you know, like stuff like that. like there's always going to be a struggle.
Always.
But that's what makes the story, and that's what makes life interesting.
That allows us to keep growing too
right.
on that end too.
Yeah. I got to take a piss. There's at least 10 people that I've had on the podcast that never have watched it. Like they never watched their own.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like they haven't watched mine in general. They didn't watch their own because they're just like, dude, I can't watch myself.
Yeah. Dude.
And I'm like, I mean, that's fair. I had the same feeling when I started, you know, like I was like, dude, this is bad. I'm like, you thought you looked cool, but you do not.
No. And like I said, that podcast, I've been watching a lot of podcasts because again, I've been wanting to start my own, and I've been practicing talking, you know, and again, you know, it's all like talk with your hands, do this, do that. Like, you know, I've always talked with my hands.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, just like, it's just wild because, again, I mean, it's different to look yourself in the mirror and be like, all right, cool. All right, everything's straight, you know, boom, boom. But to literally watch yourself, watch your lips, watch your facial expressions.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother level.
And then the sound. Does the sound fuck with you? Like, you hear yourself differently inside your head than when you hear it from a speaker.
Right.
And you're like, wait, my voice sounds like that?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. I don't want to talk about
it. Dude.
It's so funny, man.
I learned a little bit about that with music because I recorded a lot of music in my 20s. And so like I'm singing, you know, whatever. And then I sing and I listen to it on a record and I was like, whoa, my voice sounds like that.
Right.
And so you kind of have to perfect how you want to come across singing and stuff. So, and then I just kind of learned some of that stuff. And then I do think that, I mean, Gary Vee says every business owner should have a podcast.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And it is a really good way, even if your podcast doesn't go anywhere like huge, it's a good way to like articulate your feelings.
Right.
It's a good way to network with business clients. Like I had an idea. It's like, if you have a business, say you do, I'm trying to think of something that you could do. Like say you do marketing for business owners. Yeah. So then you would want to start a podcast and you start building this brand, and then you just invite other businesses on to talk about their business and how they grew.
Right.
And then they meet, and now you're meeting every business owner in your area, and they're like, what do you do? I'm a marketer. I do this. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, we were looking for
Right.
So it's an easy networking tool.
Give your gift away. Yes, 1000%.
And I like this because like a lot of people that have businesses who don't have podcasts, they can come on my podcast. They can talk about their business. They can say the ins and outs, what they do well, what they're like and stuff. Yeah. Then they can take that content and use it on their website or whatever. Like, use it, whatever you need it for. You know, now. But
again, I think a lot of business owners, especially small business owners, they don't want to reach out because they think it's going to cost so much. Because they realize that video does cost a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, because again, we put a lot of time into editing and making sure that every 3 seconds is golden. So, And again, I mean, again, they don't know what they don't know. But again, I think it's important to make sure that we give our gift away, because then the more we give our gift away, the more that we get rewarded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that like you were talking about that earlier, and it's not that you give to receive. Receiving is just the benefit, or like it's just a side. What is like a side? It's like silver lining of giving.
Sure,
you know? It's just like you cannot give and not ever receive anything back.
Well, especially with the experience that we have, you know, the thing is, I mean, people probably expect for us to charge this huge number, but if we can give away great quality content, then they're going to be like, oh, you know what? Okay. Here's $500.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I was only going to charge $2. You know what I'm saying? Whatever else.
You know what I'm saying? I've been, do you know Alex Ramosi?
Love him. He was in the fitness industry and he was a photographer.
That's why I kind of wondered if you know him. Yeah. So I kind of like a lot of his philosophy.
He's great.
I like the idea of, he's like, he's like, I never discount. He's like, it's either free or full price.
Yes.
So he's like, yeah, I give tons of shit away for free.
Right.
Like obviously all of his educational videos. Right. I mean, he even wrote books. He gives them away for free.
Yes.
But he's like, but then if you're going to hire me, there's full price. This is not discounted. This is our work.
Right.
And so I'm trying to learn that, where it's just like, oh, if I want a client, I will chase them, and then I will offer them something for free.
Yes.
Like, well, you don't know me, so let me film something. And that might take me 2 days of work, and I will give it to them.
Yes.
But then they're going to be like, okay, this is the guy we're hiring. Okay, this is my price. It's $1,000 for this.
They don't know what they don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, yes, 1000%. And dude, and that really, it's funny because that goes back in the day when I was in fitness industry in 1996. We'd go out, hand out 7-day free passes. Hey, come try us out for free because we know you're going to love it. We know you're going to love it. We know you're going to love it. Here.
Yeah.
You know, so again, it's just, I mean, it's so old school marketing. But the thing is, though, a lot of these youngins, they don't know what's up. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what guerrilla marketing is. They don't know what shaking hands and kissing babies is. Yeah. They don't know having a conversation. Yeah. They're like, you know, they hide behind text messages and freaking and DMs.
Right.
You know, but to have a real conversation, to shake somebody's hand, to be like, yo, I'm going to do this for you for free. I got your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that speaks way more volumes than being like, hey, email. Hey, I can do this for you. No. You got to go shake hands. You got to go chop it up with people.
Yeah.
You know, because again, that's what AI can't do. AI can't be me.
Yeah.
AI can't be you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? AI can only freaking be what we tell it to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It still needs the prompts.
Hook me up with this. Tell me how to do this. But AI can't replicate me, and it can't replicate you or any other creative.
Right.
You know or the mindset of our creative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thing is AI is cool, but it ain't that cool.
Right.
It ain't as cool as me. It ain't as cool as you. It's only as cool as I make it to be. You know what I'm saying? But again, it can be really cool once we put in the input.
Yeah, even when AI gets good enough to replicate me on a video and all my mannerisms and all of the things I say, the only way it did that is because it copied who I am already. Right.
AI is just a tool. Yeah. It's not the end all be all. It's just a tool. But if you're worried about it taking your job, then guess what? You're worried about it taking your job at a fucking fast food restaurant, a job I don't want.
Right.
And a job you shouldn't want either. Yeah. So fucking stop worrying about it. You know what I'm saying? Fucking be you, be the experience, and freaking vibe out. You know, at the end of the day, it's your job to be the vibe. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. Because again, AI can't replicate the vibe that I'm bringing right now, the vibe you're bringing right now, and further. You know what I'm saying? So,
and even in that example, like necessity breeds creativity. So it's like if you lose your job as, you know, working for fast food or whatever, like, well, it's like the DUI. It's like, well, now I can't drive. Now I have to be at home. Now I'm going to work on my craft, and it breeds like the growth. And
yes, it should. But a lot of time, I don't have this. Oh, I don't have that. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. Bro, if I can't walk or do it on my bike, then I really probably don't need to be doing it anyway. But guess what? Because I only had to walk and because I only had to ride my bike, I lost 55 pounds. Skinnier than I was in high school in 1996. You know what I'm saying?
No, hey,
you know what I'm saying?
How much do you weigh?
I was like 213. 213. Yeah. Bro,
I'm trying to get up.
Yeah, I hadn't been 213 since late 90s. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
My goal was to hit about 215 by the end of March.
Nice.
I'm not going to hit it. I'm almost at 2. But yeah, because I've always been skinny.
See, I was 265 when I first started. Yeah. And again, being 6'2", you can. It doesn't hold again because I didn't have a gut here, but I mean I'll have the love handle, still do. But it's just one of those things. It's just like I didn't even know I had 55 pounds to lose until I freaking lost it. Yeah. And my doctor was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Bro, don't even come at me like that." You know what I'm saying? Like I've been walking around my bike everywhere.
Yeah,
you know
that's cool though. Where do you live?
Fairview and Maple Grove, right behind Peterson Toyota.
Okay, so you're biking downtown, or you're biking
here, wherever. Yeah, whatever. I mean, again, I take care of my mom. I'm single, never married. I do what I need to do. But I mean, if it, if it's not a bike ride away, then I Uber. But I mean, but at the end of the day, it's just like, I mean, I don't really have anything going on unless it's a gig or something like that. Yeah. But
and it probably also, I was thinking about that earlier, but you probably learned to minimize your setup because you're like, oh, it goes on my back.
Bro.
So I'm not bringing this.
Well, I actually built a studio in my garage. I have a garage. But dude, you really try to minimize your setup, especially for traveling gigs.
Yeah.
So
that's fun to me. Like when I fly somewhere else, like I flew down to Vegas to visit my buddy Severo.
Nice.
Wasn't drinking. And because I was on this 75 hard shit.
Oh,
but I was like, I want a podcast down there. but I flew Spirit, and they make you only bring a small bag. So I was like, I want to see if I can do this. So I had everything for the podcast. I had 2 cameras. I had the lens. I bought these blow up lights. They just
How does those work?
Good, man.
Awesome.
Yeah. So folded them down, so I had everything in this little backpack plus my clothes and stuff. I was like, damn, it makes you be like resourceful.
Yeah. No, it will. Well, it allows you to make sure that you use the natural light that you have if it's during the day. But then, it makes you be creative, 1000%, especially because you can't carry all your light stands, all your strobes. You have to make sure that you can, it allows you, it flexes your creative muscles for sure.
But that's just good for you.
No, for sure. Because that again, it's just putting in reps. Making sure you're putting in reps in the most creative way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How often, or are you out? God, how do I want to word that? Oh, how long do you have no license for?
I can get my license back now. I mean, it was suspended for a year.
But then you're just in the habit of biking, so you're like, fuck it.
Well, and I mean, what's crazy is that I got my DUI on a Saturday night, and then again, I was driving a Jeep that was $1,000 a month. That was wasn't making the paper that I was making at the time, so I was like, "Yo, y'all need to come pick up this Jeep." And I have no vehicle, so I mean. Biking or walking is my only option.
Interesting. Dude, so I speaking of biking, so I love biking.
I love it.
I used to work a lot downtown, so I bike downtown a lot, way more than driving. But now I work like in 10 Mile, like I drive out there. But Cinda, my girlfriend, she lost her license this last year, so I bought her an e-bike, and I had been riding that thing, and I was like, "Holy shit, this thing is sick!" So I want to get an e-bike this spring and ride it out to Rudy's and back. So I'm like, dude, why am I like driving all the time? And it's just like, dude, you can fucking cruise.
1000%.
You're still pedaling. You're just like going faster and further. Oh, dude, I love it.
I had an e-bike and my battery quit on me.
God damn it.
I know, dude. And then the batteries are $400.
Oh, fuck.
I bought it from a guy that had only put 30 miles on it. Yeah, I bought it from him for a cheap price. And then freaking 2 months later, the battery died. And then I called the manufacturer. He's like, yeah, probably because the guy didn't use it. He didn't charge it. He didn't maintain the lithium battery the way he was supposed to. He's like, it's probably just a dead battery. He's like, you just have to buy another one for $400. I'm like,
you're like,
fucking hey, dude.
Yeah. Dude, now I feel like all my money goes to gear. We were talking about earlier. It's just like,
yeah, dude. I mean, gear chasing is a thing, but as long as the gear is making you money, then it's good. You know what I'm saying? If the gear's not making you money, you know what I'm saying, then it's not worth. It's not worth the expense. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I mean, you're right. Yeah. There's still a couple things I want to buy, but I don't need them.
Same.
When I am glad though that I'm spending money on gear rather than spending money on strippers. Or I like spending money on strippers sometimes, but come on now.
That's awesome.
Or like a big one is education. It's just like, dude, would you rather spend money, on like a bunch of needless things, or put some money back into like what you're learning and all that shit?
I mean, that's true. As long as you're spending the money on the niche that you want to be in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I think that's so important. And I wish I would have known years ago. But again, it's all good. It's all good, huh?
You didn't know? No,
it's all good. It's all good. But again, it's just like, damn, all the time I wasted on just bullshit. But is it bullshit because I needed the reps? You know what I'm saying?
It's so hard to.
So it's not a waste.
Yeah.
But it's just like, damn, I just,
Yeah.
Being in the creative space it's constantly changing, man. And that's the thing, man.
I do think it's like a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about. I mean, of course, I've thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I didn't chase creativity, and I just was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to work on money and try to make as much money as I can so then I can retire and then I can do what I want.
Right.
Then I'm just going to be miserable for 30 years until I could be creative or only do it on the side. But then there are some people like my sister. I've said this before. My sister, she's like, she doesn't have like huge hopes and dreams. She's just like very happy with, I have my husband, my kids, I just do tinker around the house and do little this, little that. Like we have enough money and like, there's no like grander plan. And she's happy, and sometimes I'm jealous of that. But I would be miserable in that, like
with not knowing what's going on.
I have to. I'm like, dude, I have to be doing a passion. I have to be chasing something that like is bigger, that has like, just something to look forward to. Yeah.
I mean, I just being an only child, I've never had to compete, or not compete, but just have that. Have that sibling connection.
Yeah.
I wish I did, but I never did. But it's just I'm being so ADD. I mean, again, I went to 4 different high schools. Right out of high school, I got in the fitness industry, and I was just like, send me everywhere. I mean, I was in, dude. I mean, that's why I love the fitness industry so much, because every 6 months I was in a different place. And I just love that so much, but. Now I love it, but it's just like, dude, I mean, I just want a little bit of consistency, but I mean, it's,
so everything you're learning, like all this stuff. So what's looking forward for you? Like, have you found the niche you want to go after?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely going to start my YouTube channel, but I'm going to merge my custom shoes and my photo shoots. I'm going to merge those together. So so that's going to be a vibe. So I'm in the works for that right now. So it's going to be a whole YouTube channel of custom shoes and photo shoots. So that's going to be a vibe. I can't wait.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah. Are you gonna,
so then you're collaborating with different models with your shoes?
Not even models. No. I don't even want to.
Sorry, I'm guessing.
No. You're good. It's not even about collaborating with models. I don't even want to collaborate with models. I want to collaborate with real, like, birthday people, people that want something different, that want some, but again, we'll customize. And then once we customize it, we'll hook up a photo shoot at the end. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of, because it's about being the experience. You know what I'm saying? And again, I've been a sneakerhead since the 90s. Man. I mean, I was a sneakerhead before sneakerhead was even a fucking a word, and the thing is, it's just like, man, if I can collaborate my passion for sneakers and that plus my photography, why not? That's a perfect marriage. You know what I'm saying? So that's the goal.
I like that. There's a guy, his name is Naval Ravikant. I really like, he's kind of like an influencer thinker, or like more of a like philosophical thinker kind of guy. But he was on Rogan once, and he was talking about, if you are really good, if you're only really good at one specific thing, say you're like trying to be the best basketball player in the world, right? Well, that has a lot of competition. It's like, you have to be better than Kobe. You have to be better than Michael. You have to be better than LeBron, right? So but if you paired, I'm good at basketball and I also know this thing over here. He's like, so for example, with Rogan, he's like, you aren't the best fighter in the world, but you have this huge fighting background, and you're maybe not the best comedian, but you have this huge comedy background. Those two things merged into this podcast. And now you're bringing the knowledge from both spaces.
That's a vibe.
And nobody else does these three things as well as you together.
Exactly.
And so that's what's cool about, like bringing the sneakers.
Well, that's what I was talking about earlier, is our story is meant to be told in the way that it's been lived. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way you've stumbled upon photography and videography, the way I stumbled, the thing is, the way we stumbled upon it is a story for somebody else. They're looking for our story. Mm-hmm. They're looking for how you got started. They're looking for how I got started. And that's the thing, is that we think it's just so minute and so whatever. But at the end of the day, it brings so much value, and it brings so much heat to somebody that I'm not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think they're not good enough, but really, because they started from here, and here. And the thing is there's so many people that started way lower than what they started. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing is if they just keep on pressing forward, they'll fucking grow faster because of the tools and resources that they have now that we didn't have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Shut the fuck up and fucking lean into your craft.
Yeah.
Because again, if we shut the fuck up and just started leaning into our craft, we'd probably be a lot higher than what we were.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or where we are now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So.
But there's always going to be the growth, you know. We can always get better.
Growth is there. Growth is there. We just got to make sure that we're open to it, you know.
Yeah. And then what I like about I love the sharing, like the story, like that. I mean, obviously I'm trying to do that, and it's like, if you have all this experience, like, why not share it? Like, even if it helps that one person that then takes off and does, whatever.
Because that one person is going to tell 10. Mm-hmm. I mean, the statistics don't lie. You know, it's just like you affect one person, they're going to tell 10. Mm-hmm. They're going to tell 10. They're going to tell 10. You know, the thing is, I mean, the word of mouth is never going to go away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that's organic and it's never going to go away. Mm-hmm. You know, the only thing that's going to go away is probably, you know, the internet stuff. But I mean, word of mouth will never go away.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that holds so much value that a lot of people don't understand, is that just fucking do you, grind out and fucking beat the experience. And guess what? That one person is going to fucking tell fucking 10, boom, 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 boom. It's a snowball effect after that. But that's the thing. It's just that a lot of people don't have the confidence to freaking push forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But,
and the confidence,
because again, they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, and the confidence only comes from doing it a bunch.
That's the thing, is the confidence comes from doing and not freaking Google searching or freaking or YouTubing it.
Yeah.
You know, you can only take in so much. You got to do.
What is it? The mental masturbation?
You know what I'm saying? Yes. You got to do before you can grow. You can't just take in and grow. You got to do and grow.
Yeah.
You know, you can't freaking take in and be like, oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah. You got to do it.
I should look up another video about that. I'll get some more information.
Yeah. It's like, bro, you got to do the reps in order to grow. You can't just take in the information and grow. Yeah. Because again, you're going to forget 90% of what you take in.
Right.
But you remember 90% of what you do and grow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Is do it instead of fucking taking it in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
like Nike, just do
it. Dude. And what's crazy, I just watched a documentary and I totally forgot before Just Do It, it was something totally different. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, yeah, I'm glad y'all changed that. Because I was like, because it wasn't Just Do It. It's something
really?
It was something totally different. I was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, they're like, yeah, it was something totally different before it was Just Do It. I was like, damn, I totally forgot, but it's on YouTube.
Okay.
But I was like, damn, that's crazy that there was something before Just Do It, because again, Just Do It is such a bar.
Iconic.
You know, it's such a bar. It's just like, yo, just fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Put in the reps. Do it.
Yeah. There's
doing it and doing the reps makes you a champion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The hurdles, like, of starting, the fear of failure, the fear of what other people are going to think when you put out, like, those hurdles, you have to get over them. And the only way to get over them is to just fucking doing it too. But,
you know, yes, 1000%. Do the reps, but stop fucking listening to yourself and stop fucking worrying about what other people think. Yeah. Because what other people think, bro, dude, it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, they're thinking about you 1%. They're thinking about themselves fucking 99%.
Yeah, they're thinking about how
they don't give a fuck about you stuttering. They don't give a fuck about. They care about what they can take away from the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. It's just like, just fucking do it. Just do it, man. Put in the reps, man. That's the thing. It's just put in the reps.
Yeah.
And that's what holds people back, is they don't want to put in the reps because they're scared of what other people think.
Yeah.
Other people that don't fucking pay their bills, other people that don't fucking do nothing for them. And I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to everybody.
Oh, dude,
else.
Every time I'm like saying one of these things.
I'm trying to talk to myself, like, shut the fuck up and do it. Shut the fuck up and do it.
It's so crazy because you'll feel those little bit of hesitate, like I will. Yeah. Like I'm going to post a video and I was like, And like that fear will get me. I'm just like, dude, shut up.
Dude, just post it.
Oh, I wanted to say there was something I just was reminded of, but you were talking about going with your gut and how your gut's not wrong. And I forget who was saying, but when there's, because we're creatives, we like all this different stuff. And so sometimes you have to make a decision. Is it, for example, a photo? You're like, do I want to have this edit or this edit? And they were talking about how a lot of times you can kind of just look at two and you're like, you know what? No, I like that better. It's just like, whatever that first thought is, go with that. Yes. That's your gut, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, man, I wish it was in a book I read. But so sometimes there is this 50-50 that like you really can't decide. So he says, what you do is you assign a quarter, like heads, photo 1, tails, photo 2, and you flick a bit. And he's like, a lot of times when it's in the air, you will then be like, I kind of hope it's 2. Then if you get that feeling, that's your gut telling. Nope, it was 2.
But sometimes it's not up to us; it's up to our clients.
Oh no! What I'm saying is like if you deliver, well, yeah, if you give them the choice. But sometimes it's like if you say, for example, something you want to post, or you're just like, whatever it is,
I mean,
if it's for you, you're like, or if you're like, I want to go, like I like, say it's like an intro line to a video. It's like, oh, there's this one's pretty good. Oh, but this one's pretty good. It's like, and sometimes you don't know.
We'll overthink the fuck out of it. Creatives do. I mean, but.
So it's like a neat little, so I guess it's just like a trick of like really helping yourself realize what your gut says. Because it's like, you'll flip it up and you're like, I hope it's 2. Well, then that's your answer. Then it's 2.
No, that's a bar. That's a bar. I feel that because again, because I know, because you allow the universe to make your decision for you. But really, at the end of the day, your decision. You know what I'm saying? You're like, I knew that shit.
Yeah, dude, but you can always perfect things.
Oh, 1,000%. Oh my God. 1,000%. And dude, I've done that so many times to where I'm like, I want it to be this, but the customer wants that. Or the client wants that.
And when you're in that situation, you just got to do it.
You got to do what the client wants. You know what I'm saying? No, I feel that.
That's why I can't let, I guess, photos for clients be my main thing, or at least I felt leading in, because like I just get burnt out. I'm like, oh man, I want to do it this way, but they want that, So that's why I'm like, this has to be my main thing, because I get to dictate how this goes.
I feel that.
But and then learning fucking how to this has been a theme of mine this year, but letting go of perfectionism, and that's why I went to like one camp. I'm like, dude, last year I put out like 5 podcasts. 5 podcasts in a year is nothing, right?
Dude,
but like perfectionism and
I know, dude. I mean, I watched the YouTube on this, and he's like, perfectionism is just a fucking thing. It's a personal thing that you freaking have against yourself, dude. He's like, because perfection, there's no such thing as it's just an excuse for you to freaking not fucking blow. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that's a bar. Because again, I'm how many times I should have hit fucking load or upload, and I'm like, no. And he's like, dude, that's just a battle against yourself. You're just battling against yourself. He's like, there's no such as perfectionism. He's like, just post what you have, because people will fucking identify with whatever you post. And that's the thing. It's just like, we want everything to be the sound, the audio, the lighting. We want everything to be perfect because we're creatives, and that's what we want. But the normal, they don't look at the shit that we look at. They were like, oh shit, what he was saying was bars, blah blah. The thing is the things that we look at are not what the average looks at. They're looking at value. They're looking at the words that you're saying. You're looking at lighting. You're looking at all the shit that nobody cares about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And it doesn't mean you don't like focus on getting better all the time. But actually, I think that guy I was telling you about, that DJ, Eric Rhodes. I think if I'm not wrong, he has a story like he wasn't even going to post the video that blew him up. He's like, I need to do more. And it's just like, fuck it, I need to put that out. And then it was like a Warren G song mixed with somebody else. And Warren G saw it and he reshared it and he popped.
Boom.
And he's like, I almost didn't share that. Fucking nuts,
dude. That's what's up.
There's like, that is a huge thing that I'm working through currently in like my journey, and like with when I was a musician and I'm starting to play music again, it was like, dude, I would sit on songs for years. And it's just like, by the time I put that song out, I was kind of over it anyway. So you might as well have put it out 3 years ago. Somebody could have enjoyed it, you know?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, dude, just like finish the song, put it out.
Yeah,
finish
just put it out. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab another beer.
Yeah, me too. I got pissed. I mean, no.
The one thing I wanted to ask you. So there was one thing we talked about, but you were talking about like authenticity and even like showing like your process and like mistakes. Do you have like are you just gonna like talk about that shit on YouTube like along the way, or like what?
That's a good question, because again, I'm not used to. I'm not used to that type of content, because again, I'm just that photographer, edit, post.
Here's the final.
So yeah. So I'm trying to get better at telling my story, telling my authenticity, because again, I feel like, there's, even buddies of mine in Bama that I've known since 2011 when I started this. They're like, dude, man, they're always asking me questions. So I'm like, bro, I'm learning as I go too.
Yeah. Sorry. So
no. Yeah. I think that the research that I've done is just all about transparency and authenticity. Again, that is your brand. That is your Nike swoosh. That is what you need to push out is your story. Everybody has a different story, but your story is your Nike check mark. That is what you need to be telling. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's the hardest part for us to share, because we think nobody wants to hear that. Yeah. But really, at the end of the day, that's what everybody wants to hear.
Yeah, they are resonating with the struggle.
With ordinary people on the rise, or ordinary people that are creatives or whatever else. You know what I'm saying? Some of the people that I follow now, all they do is this, or all they do is this. And the thing is like, the small things that they say bring so much value to me, because I'm just learning customization or whatever else, or airbrushing, or whatever else.
Yeah.
And the thing is the things that we have to say, there's so many people starting now, but we've been doing it for 10 years.
Right, yeah.
Where we bring so much value that we don't even realize that we bring.
Yeah.
Because we think, because we just learned it, everybody knows it.
Yeah.
And that's not the case at all.
Dude, it's funny because I was, I obviously consider myself like still very new, fresh. But like I've done 50 episodes of the podcast. And so I still feel new. But like
you're just getting started.
Yeah. But comparatively to somebody who hasn't done a podcast. So I had this girl ask me, I think I have coffee with her Wednesday. And somebody else maybe that was saying, but they're like, I don't know, you're the expert on this. And I was like, hearing somebody say expert to me, I was like, oh man.
So weird. It's so weird. I'm like, yo, no, I'm not. No.
But like when it comes down to it, like I felt honored. I actually, there was 2 different people that reached out for advice on starting a podcast. I'm like, dude, absolutely, I would love to help you. Like anything you want to know, I'm very happy to share. And so had a phone call with this one girl, and then I have coffee with another. They're both going to start a podcast. Sure. So I'm like, dude, and like I'm able to give some advice because I've been thinking about it for 2 years. I delayed, I didn't do it. Then I had perfectionism, and so I have some of these hiccups that I can tell them about and be like, dude, don't let this, And
it's funny you say that, because again, what we think is brand new information, it's brand new to us, but it's Google searches that they don't even know that they need to be Google searches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're Googling it before they are. And that's the only reason, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because again, they see that you have the tools. Again, they don't know that Google search this. They don't know that Google search that.
Yeah.
They don't know that Google search microphones.
Right.
They're just like, they want to start a podcast and start talking. They don't know that sound is important. Lighting is important. The subject matter is important. You gotta, there's 3 components that you gotta have before you start a podcast. You can't just start a podcast and just start chopping it up about bullshit. You got to bring value.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot, dude, it's crazy. Cause again, I had people hit me up like, dude, I look up to you so much. I'm like, bro, like why? I don't get it. But again, that's it's cool, just because again, I'm doing things that I Google searched 5 years ago that I'm just now starting to master. And they don't even know the Google search the stuff I was Google searching 5 years ago.
And like you were saying, you're selling yourself short because we do that. We're like, oh, I'm not nearly where I want to be.
Right.
So but you're way ahead of that next guy.
Way ahead. Yeah. We're so way ahead of 90% of the creatives that are starting. You know what I'm saying? That again, we don't realize the value that we bring, but they don't realize. The thing is when they're reaching out to us, we're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, do this. And the thing is we're bringing more value to them than we are giving more value to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the hard part. It's just like, I think I just gave her a fucking, you know what I'm saying? The thing is depending on how these people execute on the education that we give them, they could execute way better than us.
Right.
And guess what? They're fucking making bands and we're fucking sitting here trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the hard part because some people that are wired differently, that are very organized, they're very this, that, and the other. The thing is that they may be very organized, but they're not as creative as us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But the thing is that we value our creativity way more than the average Joe.
Yeah.
You know, because the average Joe values education more than creative vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's the hard part is because we think that we have the fucking A+ answer for everything.
Yeah.
And guess what? Not everybody's looking for the A+. They're just looking for the C to get them to the next level.
Yeah. Or we have all these visions, but we don't do anything
we're all
because
we are fucking overthinking every fucking thing about it. You know, but at the end of the day, it's just like, damn, if I just fucking press the gas on this one thing, I could fucking be making here. But because I fucking overthink everything and I chop everything up, it's just like,
you know,
but
it's all part of the process.
It's all part of the process.
We're learning that along the way.
It's all part of the process. 100%.
Yeah, I bet that's another really big thing I'm learning this year and over the last couple of years. But it's like there's no destination because, you know, say I'm like, oh, I'll, you know, like my life is going to be good once I get this, or to this level. And this is not true because then I would just move my goals forward.
Right.
I'm like, well, now I need to get here. So if that's the case, and I'm always going to be growing, learning, and evolving and trying to get to the next level, that means I'm always going to be on a journey. So I better have fun with the journey rather than just being like, fuck, dude, I hate this part. I can't wait till I get here. No, dude, like this is all part of it.
I feel that too. But and again, there's a difference between being a photographer and then, you know, I mean, again, there's a difference between being a creative visionary and just a photographer or just a videographer, you know, and that's the thing is that some people find comfort in just doing the basics.
Yeah.
I don't find comfort in that. I don't find comfort in just doing what people think are cool.
Right.
I want to do what gives me the creative drive to fucking move forward.
Yeah, feeds your soul.
Right. But also satisfies my client at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I've learned, again, just even a couple of days ago, it's just like, damn, my vision was a little different than their vision. But again, it's like we have to shoot for our clients sometimes.
Yeah.
We can't shoot for us. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, it's just like that's why we do the side projects and the things that allow us to create in a different way than art. Because again, sometimes, you know, it's funny because we think, oh, I'm going to be a business owner. I'm going to do it to where I don't have a job. I don't have a boss. No, motherfucker. Yeah. Your boss is your client every time. You got to do what they want. You can't do what you want. You know what I'm saying? That's the hard part sometimes. Yeah. Is they reach out to you because they love what your website presents. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's like they don't think beyond. They don't think as creative as you do. You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes it's just like you have a vision. You're like, oh, I'm gonna shoot it this way. Right. And then you turn over. You're like, yeah, could you just do that? And I'm like,
you're like, damn it.
That's basic as shit.
Yeah,
that's fucking straight up. I anybody could do that. But
you're like, that'll cost $500 extra.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, like, fuck,
I can't.
Why do you hire me if you want this basic shit? You know what I'm saying? But
dude, you gotta charge them extra from the simple stuff.
Right. I'm like, but at the end of the day, you shoot for clients. You don't shoot for you. Yeah. And so, and that sometimes that's hard. That's the hard part is shooting for clients and not shooting for you because again, you want to bring your vibe with every shoot, but your shoot doesn't require your vibe.
Right,
you know
right, yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, damn, that's fucked up. But
yeah, it's just part of that fucking journey.
It is.
Yeah. Sweet, dude, man. I think we'll wrap it up.
No, we're good.
So tell people where to find you. Like website, Instagram.
I mean, so my Instagram is Curtis Brett _ and then 208 Nights and then Curtis B Customs, you know. So but yeah, just Curtis Brett _ it will be my portrait stuff. So,
sweet. Dude. Yeah.
I appreciate everything. I appreciate everything.
Dude, love you, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Nobodies.